Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for the Breath of the Creator normal. This is the second new floor made available by patch 3.4 Soul Surrender, where we face off against Goblin Ifrit. Seriously, look at him. How badass does he look? My name is Miztech and I'm really sad I don't look like that. The first thing to notice are the 3 traps on the ground. If the boss or any player stands on these, they will activate and you'll have to deal with the resultant mechanic. That said, no player should stand on these ever. The outer edges of the platform should also be avoided as much as possible. Even though I said to avoid the traps, the boss will purposely activate them through the encounter, so we might as well look at what they do. The north trap, which looks a little bit like an ice crystal or a rupee, will activate the 2 turrets on the outer edges and blast anyone there with high damage and a frostbite dot. To avoid this, players must stand in the center. The middle trap will activate the wrecking balls hanging over the middle of the platform. Anyone hit will suffer high damage and a vulnerability up debuff. To avoid this, players will need to move to the outer edges. The south trap will activate the ground spikes all over the platform and root everyone in place for 5 seconds. There is no way to avoid this, so be especially careful not to accidentally activate this. We begin and tank him anywhere, making sure to carefully avoid triggering traps. Tanks will need to watch out for Goblin Rush and Gob Rush Rush Gob, which will hit the tank 3 times for mild and high damage respectively. Use cooldowns and heal appropriately. Gob's Way Rumble Rocks is a raid-wide AoE blast that will need to be healed through. Illuminati Hand Cannon is a long column AoE on a random player. Move out of this as necessary. A random player will be marked for prey and linked to the boss with this line. This does proximity-based damage in a line from the boss to the affected player. The player should move away from the boss, making sure not to clothesline any players in between. All other players should make sure they're out of the line of attack as well. Anytime the boss casts trap, he will leap to a specific trap and activate its mechanics. Watch closely to see what is activated and then dodge appropriately. These mechanics will repeat until about 70%, where the boss goes invulnerable and spawns his GOBPRESS R6. This GOBPRESS will need to be destroyed before we run out of room on the platform and get smushed. During this time, players can also be targeted with these orange markers for critical wrath, spread out to avoid splashing extra damage on others. The GOBPRESS is continuously casting Steamroller, and at the end of each cast will knock back anyone in melee range, do mild to moderate damage, and move up the platform. I'd recommend that melee players move away near the end of each cast to reduce damage. Bomb Toss will target a random player with this familiar stack-up marker. Players should move in to share the damage here. Once the GOBPRESS is destroyed, the boss will return and the encounter continues. Here, players will be on the lookout for a single charge. During the cast, the boss will have either a red or green marker above his head. Green means stack in to dodge the incoming mid-range donut attack. Red means run away to dodge the incoming melee attack. Getting hit with either will knock back and debuff you with vulnerability up. You want to avoid these as much as possible, since getting knocked back into a trap or the outer edge can be very dangerous. Eventually, lane breaks will spawn a number of wall saws on the outer edges of the platform. Players will need to stand in the safe zones and avoid getting sliced up. At this point, the boss's trap cast can activate more than 1 trap in a row. Watch closely and recognize which trap he activates in what order, and then move appropriately. Watch out for an ad spawn in the north. These should be picked up and burned down as fast as possible. At this point, you've seen everything he's going to throw at you, and it's just a matter of moving appropriately to counteract each mechanic. Remember to spread for critical wrath and stack for bomb toss. Green means in, and red means run away. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Up next, we'll head into the heart of the Creator normal. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.